We all have many days where you sat in front of your computer and you cannot be asked to do the things you need to do, right? After minutes of starting, I start to come up with all sorts of excuses, and I basically do anything I can to avoid the tasks I need to be doing. I'm too tired, it's not the right time to do this, I'll start tomorrow, I'm not feeling inspired, one day off won't hurt, blah blah blah. So we tend to find an activity that won't take us any effort at all. Whether that's picking up our phone, walking downstairs, usually results in going into the fridge and cue the binge eating. If not that, we'll sit on the sofa, usually sick on Netflix. Whether you're studying for an exam, starting a new diet, clean eating, going to the gym, starting a new job, or just getting something done that you need to do on a side hustle, we have all been there when our motivation is lost. Motivation is doing things when you feel like it, whereas self-discipline is doing things regardless of how you feel. And this is really crucial to building self-discipline. Now we have to look at it like this. We have our current situation, which is essentially where we are now, and then we have the dreams and goals and ambition. And we can say that they are over there. And then in between these things, we have hard work or work. Now, in order to get from one side, i.e. our current situation, to where we want to be, our goals and ambitions and dreams, we have to understand that a lot of the time we're met with a thing called resistance. Resistance is essentially a universal force that keeps things where they are, i.e. keeps us in our current situation as opposed to going to the situation, dreams, goals, ambition. Like, think of all the crazy excuses you come up with. Oh, I can't do this, I've got to take my pigeon to the vet. I can't do this, it rained. I didn't have enough sleep. I'm not able to. I can't do this. The funny thing is, we know that completing these tasks that we have in hand are what are going to help us to achieve the goals and dreams and ambitions that we have. So you're probably thinking, damn dude, stop throwing all these shots at me. I thought this was going to help. Listen, there is help. Self-discipline. Self-discipline is about leaning into resistance, taking action in spite of how you feel, living a life by design, not by default. But most importantly, it's acting in accordance with your thoughts, not your feelings. So over the last few years of working for myself and working on myself and trying to be more self-aware, be a better partner, be a better dad, be an educator, and just be an all-round better person, I've noticed that I had to put things in place to ensure that I stay on the path that I want to be on, as opposed to deviating, which, believe me, when you do work for yourself or you work from home, it's very easy to deviate, procrastinate, and probably become someone that just talks and doesn't actually action anything. I found out along the journey that it was basically me meeting resistance, and the voices in my head were essentially giving me fear and anxiety and stopping me from doing the things that I wanted to do. First of all, we need to remove temptations. Temptations are the things that essentially stop us, the little devil on the shoulder that stops you from doing what it is you want to do. Whether it can be that WhatsApp chat that you're in, whether it can be that Discord community you're in, whether it can be your emails popping up, it can be a colleague from work, whether it can even be the kids running in when they have a day off. FYI, you can't get rid of the kids. But these things, right, all add up, and without realising, we start to pick up our phone. Have you ever sat on the loo for what you imagine to be a quick tactical poo? Yet 30 minutes later, you're sat there pointlessly scrolling through Reels and TikToks, and now you have pins and needle feelings in your legs. Nah, me either. We look at people we don't really care about, and we start to stop doing the things that we actually want to be doing. For us to get good at something, we actually have to give it our time and give it our attention, and we actually have to focus on that specific task. Now, sometimes, me myself, I'm very guilty of this, I try and take on too many tasks at once, and it leads to confusion. I'm doing this, then I'm doing that, then I'm doing this, then I'm doing that, and before you know it, I'm burnt out, and I'm probably given up, sat here with a massive box of crisps, watching Netflix. The best thing that helped me was setting aside specific time to do uninterrupted tasks. So not focusing on something whilst doing something else. When I do this, my phone goes on airplane mode. Up here, boom, okay. Straight away, now we have no distractions. Obviously, if you don't want to do that, if you're expecting something urgent, sometimes I leave mine on so my missus can get hold of me. I like to leave it on. So what I do is I actually turn off all notifications, whether it be on WhatsApp, whether it be on Instagram, whether it be on any social media platform, whatever it is, emails a lot. All notifications are off. I don't want to see them. They don't even ping up. I don't care because I'm in the zone and you need to focus because otherwise I'm not going to get my task done. This really helped me is actually setting aside time to do the things that I need to do. And we all have time. I think about it when you're at a full-time job, you might say, I haven't got time, mate, what about, I'm busy. But you always find time to do that thing you shouldn't be doing, like watching Netflix or watching YouTube or spinning on your head or bashing one out or whatever it is that you're doing, you find time to do that. So why can't you find time to work on you, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, and getting yourself from the current situation to the other side? Because all there is in between that is you. There's resistance, there's work, and no one likes sometimes to have to do work. But the truth of it is, if you don't do it, you ain't getting to the other side, so you remain stagnant. The next point for me is just get started. So many people, including myself, especially in the past, have said to myself, I'm going to get started, I'm going to do this great thing, and you don't. It could be a Thursday and you go, on Monday I'm going to join the gym, or on Monday I'm going to eat clean, or on Monday I'm going to start doing my markups, or on Monday I'm going to actually journal my trades. And what happens is Monday comes, something gets in the way, and you don't do it. And I know you don't do it. Tell the truth. Inspiration comes from taking action, not waiting for inspiration to come to us. Sometimes, no matter how rubbish you might feel, you've just got to get up and get on with the shit you've got to do. Let's use this as an example, right? It's the easiest one people can equate to. How many times do you go to the gym and you're actually like, I am buzzing for this gym? Very rare, right? But how many times once you've gone to the gym, done your workout and come out, do you go, I feel great. Endorphins release, dopamine's hit, you've completed a task for the day, you feel great. And then usually you have a better day, right? Because you've just actioned something. You've not waited for it to hit you in the face. Just like you've not waited for success to hit you in the face, or this great business idea to just appear from nowhere, or someone to knock on your door and go, yo, big man, you're a millionaire, congratulations, or you can leave your job, don't worry. It doesn't happen. Go and do the thing, whether it's going and doing a walk a day, whether it's doing yoga a day, whether it's watching a podcast, whether it's creating a podcast, whether it's creating content, whether it's doing your journaling, whether it's learning some education, whether it's watching a video. You get the gist, yeah? Do it. You are in control, so just get started. It helped me so much when I realised that I was essentially plateauing. If there's something that I want to do, those people that know me very well know I am very much a doer, and whatever I say I'm going to do, I do, and I can't rest until it's done. But that wasn't something that was just there for me. I had to build that up, and it's the sequence of events that you put in place that get you to that point. So just, if you're someone watching this now and you're like, I've got loads of things I want to do, and you've got all these excuses and I'm triggering you, rather than getting the hump and climbing off the video, just do the shit you want to do, because in a year's time you're going to go, fucking hell, that dude on YouTube, mate, he was right, you know. The next one I want to talk about is prioritising your time. Now, time is essentially our true currency, and I know that might sound a little bit cringe, but it's something that I've really focused on over the last couple of years, is that I'm never going to get the time back. And when you look into it and you look back, you essentially realise that all that time you've wasted is never coming back. And that's quite a scary thought when you think, well, hang on a minute, that hour I wasted doing that or doing this, I'm never going to get back. So it doesn't matter how much money you've got, if you've got no time left, then you're essentially, well, that's the end of that, isn't it? You know what I mean? So I think prioritising your time is key. So for me, having a to-do list and waking up each day and having a set task of what I want to do has been massively helpful for me getting to a better point in prioritising my time. So I'll have a daily schedule where I roughly will write down the things that I want to do, and I'll time block those events. So whether it's wake up at 6, which is usually when I get up, I'm not a fan of getting up at 5 a.m. in the billionaire's routine, standing on your head, drinking some Azerbaijan tea, and getting it. For me, I just like my sleep. I go to bed at 10, I wake up at 6, I have a shower, come downstairs, I have something to eat, I usually put a podcast on, I catch up with a couple of emails, and then I slowly go through my day. I've shared it before, but here's my routine, I'll put it up here somewhere. And then what I do is underneath that, I have a to-do list, in essentially of what I want to do today. Now, I used to write bundles of stuff, like 10, 15 things, and you end up just going through this burnout of like, oh my God, I've got to do that, then this, then that, then this. And before you know it, you've not actually had any you time. You might miss lunch, you might not watch that show that you want to watch, because you can watch Netflix, you can watch YouTube, but try and make it more of a reward from doing something on this to-do list. So I would write between 3 to my markups, I want to journal, I want to trade. Break down your tasks into concrete steps and then action them. Nobody wants a massive list or a to-do list. Let's face it, if you're at work and your boss comes along and throws you 20 different things on your desk and says, get that done by the end of the day, you're going to be like, big man, I'm not doing it, right? Nobody wants that. So focus on even 3 things that you want to achieve today, and they can differ every day. They don't have to be the same thing. They can be the same thing, but it gives you that sense of when you tick that off, you get that dopamine hit, and you get that same sense of I've achieved something. And the funny thing is, right, ticking off a goal that you wanted to do and I don't know, passing a funded challenge or making loads of money, the dopamine level is the same. And I think this is something that many people forget. We try and base it on the dopamine gets larger on the bigger the event, and it doesn't. Like the way you feel about someone telling you look good is the same way you feel about someone saying to you, you're a millionaire. Like there isn't much of a difference. The dopamine hits. You know it with trading, guys. You take loads of losses, you feel shit, you get a winner, you're like, yes, anyway, where's the next one? And you just move on. So you need to also, that's why moving on from losses like you would do from winners is so important, because we can move on from a win quick because the dopamine hits, boom, boom, gone, see you later. So then you've got to find the next thing to give you the hit, and the next thing, and the next thing, and it gets a bit mental. So having a to-do list and having a plan per day for me has been game-changing. Like I always say, try and be a little bit spontaneous. Don't get too carried away with, I have to do this between 6 to 10 every single day. Oh my God. You can mix things up and be a bit spontaneous, of course, because otherwise you're going to get bored of what you do. And that is a big problem. If you're bored of what you're doing, you're not going to stick it out. And finally, the last point is focus on what you can control. Now, what I mean by this is focus on what can you as a person actually control in your day and your life, because some things are out of our control, right? And you have to think about it like that. In my view, this is one of the most important things, and it's probably one of the keys to building a more self-disciplined and a more fulfilled life. Because when you start to realize that some things are just not in your control, you find it easy to let them go. I want to talk about the locus of control and what it actually is. Locus of control is the degree to which people believe that they, as opposed to external factors, have control over the outcome of events in their life. Now, you can either have internal or external locus control, right? External locus control is essentially the belief that the events that happen in your life are due to external sources. So, i.e., I take loads of losses, the market hates me, it's searching for my stop loss, I got stop hunted, I'm not liked. That's an external factor. Internal locus control is the belief that the events in your life are down to your own actions and not something else. So with this, you can go, okay, maybe today I wasn't trading very well. Maybe today I wasn't on form. Maybe it was my fault for not putting in enough work. Maybe I didn't put enough effort into that exam. Maybe I didn't give enough time to that document or that video. You get the gist, right? So you're being self-aware and you're being accountable for your actions. And for me, this is huge, because when I realized that actually some things you can't control, my trajectory on my actual feeling and the fulfillment of me and my success kind of started to go back up again. It was like a nice equity curve, as opposed to being plateaued, because I can sit here and go, that dude, mate, at JP Morgan, he hates me. He's decided I can't win. So fuck him, innit? Netflix. It's easily done, right? Having that internal locus control will enable you to actually become a problem solver, because you will look for a solution rather than a way to blame somebody else. And when you look for solutions, 9 times out of 10, you're going to find one that's going to solve that problem. And that essentially is what entrepreneurs do, right? We look for a gap in the market that could be better or could be improved on, and we invent or create something that can better or improve on that. And that comes from internal locus control to be focused on problem solving. Also, one thing that I found helped me, and it was a quote I listened to on a podcast, and it said, what would you do if you had won the Euro Millions? What would you do for fun and enjoyment and fulfillment? And essentially what it says is whatever you would do in that scenario is what you should be doing now as a job, a business, whatever, because the chances are that that's the thing you really like. So do what you're good at. Focus on what it is that you're good at, that you like, that you would do if money wasn't an object, and go and do that. So I appreciate you watching the video. Massive love as always. I appreciate all the love and support. If you could like, subscribe and share, it would mean the world to me. Really want to get these videos out to a wider range of audience. Hope you have an incredible week. Peace and love.